We are on your block where we know it's slippery out there right now with all that snow that came down. Tim Holland is here from Michigan Slip and Fall to tell us what we should do if we find ourselves injured due to a slip and fall injury. Thanks so much for being here, Tim.
Well, thanks a lot for having me.
Now, one issue is when we have weather like this, we have, it's easy to fall right on your doorstep, but are we always entitled to sue if we fall?
Well, I think one of the most important things to talk about with falls is just how dangerous they are.
Yeah.
I was telling you 684,000 people die from falls every year. 3.5 million people are hospitalized from falls every year. So, there really is, quite dangerous. In terms of, what to do when you fall, we have some steps that we can take people through.
Well, first of all, we think of so many different ways it can happen. Of course, with weather like we have today on your doorstep or just walking outside of your car trying to go to work. But also there are people who work on construction sites. There are people who shop in grocery stores. Like, how is it different depending on the situation?
Well, definitely it's different. Commercial property owners have different responsibilities, let's say, for example, than a residential property owner. We recommend certainly that people have insurance, enough insurance to cover their losses if you're a commercial property owner, also if you're a residential property owner. We recommend for commercial property owners getting
third-party
contractors involved for snow remediation. They're experts in handling like a job site or handling like a residential site. It's really snow remediation professionals that know how to handle that.
So you do have to think of, there are both sides of this. There are the employers who, we have a great team here who helps to make sure the place is salted. I promise, I've never had an issue, and it's always great. But there are probably some employers who may not prepare the walkways and the parking lots. So, what are those options for people who have to deal with that?
Your salting here is excellent.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Right?
I thought maybe that was just for me.
No, it's always excellent.
But no, there's things that people can do, particularly with removing the snow, salting, that kind of thing. And again, getting a professional remediation contractor involved is probably your best bet if you have questions like that.
Okay, and also, what about the grocery stores? There are small mom and pop stores that maybe can't afford a whole bunch of insurance. What is the option for them when they, have concerns that someone could slip and fall?
Well, some things that we would recommend that they do is, first of all, have a plan. Have a plan to inspect, identify, look at the weather, take a look at what the conditions are. Have the tools available, which would be appropriate salting, shoveling, that kind of thing. It certainly is something that you can do yourself as long as you have a plan to identify it, stay up with it, etc. And then, after you shovel and salt, we also recommend that a property owner takes a picture to show that they did an adequate job. So those would be some things.
So if you're a person on the other end, you're the one who falls, and you're seriously injured, what is the first step? What should you do?
Well, commonly the first thing that happens when someone falls is they're embarrassed by it. So they look around to see, oh my Lord, did anyone see me fall? And what we recommend is for people, if you fall, first of all, calm down. It happens to everybody. It happens very frequently. Second is take pictures. Take pictures of the hazard. Take pictures of specifically what caused you to fall. And then, certainly report the fall, make an incident report.
Yeah, and you think if you are embarrassed enough, you may not even say anything. You may not even notice that you're that badly injured until later. What if you put it off and you're like, well, now I do need to go to the doctor? I mean, that happens, I'm sure.
We talk to people every day, and that's why we can't emphasize enough, we understand it's embarrassing when you fall, you're hurting, but you've got to take the picture of what caused you to fall, make a note of it, report it, get that incident report generated, because if the property owner doesn't know that you fell, they're going to have no idea. They won't be able to make the condition safe for other people. Also, then when you report it later, or we try to recover something for you, there's just going to be no documentation.
And so what do you see most often when people are in this situation? Do you see a lot of people come out on the better end if they find the right representation or the right people? How does that usually work out?
Well, certainly, and at FallLaw.com, Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers, we're FallLaw.com. We have the expertise, specialty. We also work with national experts in flooring safety. Architectural safety. So that's where we quite often can get a little bit better result than somebody that's just moonlighting or doesn't actually specialize in falls.
So if you have specific different instances of a fall, maybe you need a different sort of representation. How would you find that? I guess Google and and hope, or maybe call people like you to give advice, would you ever send someone to a different person to represent them?
No, for anything related to a fall or general negligence, that would be us.
Yeah, okay. Now tell us how we can get in touch with you guys.
Yeah, so essentially the website, FallLaw.com, you'll see our billboards around, but at FallLaw.com you can learn about what to do after a fall, what you can recover after a fall, and then certainly that will put you in contact with us the quickest way.
All right, Tim Holland, thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me.
Giving us some really good advice. Chris, back to you.